Before we get started with our SketchUp model and we go any further with it, we need to make some decisions about some of the measurements of some of the windows and doors in our house, and we need to record that somewhere so that you can find the measurements easily and use them for reference. For the assignment in class, I will be giving you this measurements worksheet. When you click on this, you will see that there's a worksheet attached, and when you open it, there will be one specifically shared with you for you to record your own measurements in. It looks like this, and there are a few questions here at the top about some of the questions that you're going to need to think about, and also an area to record window sizes and door size. Let's start with these first three questions. For the overall square footage of the house, you may already know what this is, and if you do, you can just type it here. Otherwise, you may have to open up your floor plan and turn on your guides. And you might remember in my floor plan here, I actually have two sections that come together. The bigger section here is 23 feet by 14 feet, so 23 across and 14 here. If I multiply those two numbers, I get 322. This lower part here is 12 across by 15, and that adds up to 180 square feet. So when you add the 322 square feet plus the 180 square feet, it equals 502 feet. When I fill this out, I am going to click on the box, and I'm going to type this in as 502, and you can use the quotation mark for feet. The next thing we have to think about is the wall height. In our floor plan, because this is like a top view section, we don't actually know what the wall height is based on the floor plan. So in our minds, we kind of have to imagine how high our interior walls are going to be. Most houses are 8 feet. Ceiling heights from the floor to the ceiling of a room are 8 feet. It doesn't mean that you have to do 8 feet in your house. You could do something a little taller if you wanted to, maybe 9. But if you start getting into 10 and 15 and 12, when you actually really measure that out, that's a very, very tall room. You want to keep it to a height that will work well with your house. So as you're imagining what it would be like to sit in the living room of your house, think about how high you might want those walls to be. In my example here, I am going to decide that my walls are going to be 9 feet instead of 8 feet. So I'm just going to type that in there. The next thing we have to look at is what kind of roof do we want? We talked about this a little bit in class, and you might remember that here in the Google Classroom, I posted and I showed you some information about roof reference. Take a look at this again and decide what kind of roof you think would fit best for your house. My roof is a gable roof, and it's most likely going to be a gable and valley roof because I have those two pieces coming together. If you look at my floor plan, the top of the gable would probably go here, so the peak of the roof would go across here, and then it would intersect right here. For that question, I'm just going to type in a open gable roof. The next thing that's here are window sizes and door sizes. When it comes to this, we don't know, right? We only know what the widths are. For this, I can come back to my floor plan and I can start to count up how many windows I have. And I also have to think at the same time, even though I know the widths here, maybe they're not all the same height. They could be different heights. And actually, as I imagined this house, I don't know if you remember me saying, I said that I thought I would have very small windows up high here, and then some other small windows that are up high as well here. In my mind, I know that these are 3 feet wide. All 5 of these are 3 feet wide. As a matter of fact, most of my windows are 3 feet wide. Also, my door is 3 feet wide, and I have these sliders in here that are 6. The way you can figure that out is you can count the squares and figure out how wide they are. What does that look like? I mentioned to you that I made some pre-made windows and doors for you, and I just want to show you where you will find those. In the classroom, I've made another materials post which says pre-made windows and doors SketchUp file. When you open this, you will see a SketchUp file here. You can click on it, and you have the option of downloading this file and then uploading it into your Google Drive with your other SketchUp files. If you choose that route, you can click download and then go to your SketchUp for Schools file, click open, and then go to my computer and go to your downloads. I'm going to click it and I'm going to click open. In this pre-made window and door example, I have some doors that are 2 feet 8 inches wide. These doors are 3 feet wide. They're all 7 feet tall. This door is also 7 feet tall, and so are the sliders. And the sliders have glass in them, and so does the front door. Maybe you don't want that, in which case I'm going to show you some options to find some windows and doors in the warehouse. The pre-made windows are casement windows, which means that they crank out. There are different heights for these windows, but otherwise they're all 3 feet wide. So I have a 3 foot wide window that's 1 foot 6 inches tall, one that's 6 inches tall, one that's 5 inches tall, and one that's 4 feet tall. But they are all 3 feet wide. These are windows that I can use. I can copy and paste these into my model later if I want to, but you might want to look at these for reference. Just as an example, when I look at the floor plan here, I know that I have these 5 smaller windows. These windows are the 3 foot by 1 foot 6 inch tall windows, and there are 5 of them. So there's one here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. When I fill out the window sizes, the width is going to be 3 feet. The height is going to be 1 foot, and it's shown like this: 1 foot hyphen 6 inches. The type of window is a casement window. There are 5 of them, so I'm going to put 5 there. The other type of window that I'm going to be using in my house is this 3 foot by 5 foot window. That window is going to be used here over this kind of island, also over the sink, also here in the bedroom. I have 3 of those. When I come over here, I'm going to type in that I have 3 of these windows. The window width is 3 feet. And the height in this case is 5 feet, and it's also a casement window. The next size I have, these 4 windows here, those are going to be 6 foot. 6 foot is the tallest window you can get that's considered a standard window. Anything bigger than that is considered a custom window, and they're also more expensive. I have 4 of those, 2 on either side of the fireplace and 2 kind of in this space in the living area. I have a total of 4 of those windows, and those are 3 feet by 6 feet, and it's a casement window. So we're going to move on to the doors. The doors are the same thing. So if we go over and we look at our doors, we can see that we have some sliders here that are 6 feet, because it's 2 3-foot sliders that slide over each other. And the height here is 7 feet. 7 feet is one of the standard sizes for doors. Otherwise, it's 6 foot 8 inches is another standard size for a door. You'll also see that these are sized also 7 feet. This width for this door is slightly different. It's 2 feet 8 inches. That's also a door size. I'm going to focus right now on these sliders. Now I have 2 sliders. I'm going to go back over here to my worksheet. Here's the 2 sliders here, and here's that front door with the glass in it. When I fill out this door size, I'm going to fill it out as 3 foot wide, 7 feet tall. The type of door I'm going to say is a glass slider, and I have 2 of them. The next door is my front door. That one is also 3 feet wide and 7 feet tall. And I'm going to call this glass hinged door, and there is only 1 of those. I can also include my interior doors here too. So on the inside of the house, I have 1 pocket door and I have 1 barn door. The way that I will create the pocket door is I will use one of these and kind of put it halfway into the wall when I make my model. And for the barn door, I'm just going to use this one. When I go to fill this out, I'm going to have 1 barn door, and I'm just going to put the type of door. I'm just going to say barn door. width is 3 feet and also 7 feet. Then I'm also going to have the pocket door, and that one is 3 feet by 7 feet also. It's actually a solid door and the hardware is the pocket, so I could just write solid wood door. I could write that for the barn door as well, just so that we understand what we're talking about. I could also say solid wood pocket door. The number of doors or the number of windows relates to how many of that particular type of size window do you have in your house. When you're done with this, you're just going to click turn in. Hopefully this will help you when you go to make your SketchUp model, have the reference available on the sizes of your windows and doors, because we're going to be making those holes in the walls of our house.